All right, all right, all right. How we doing, everyone? Hopefully the sound is good. Hopefully we're live. I think we are. We got 7 people here in the shadow realm that we're apparently never getting out of. Man. All right, yeah. All right, we're live on Rumble and live on YouTube. So I'll just move that out of the way. What's up, Silver, my man? We got Cha in the house. Hope you're doing all right. What's up, Slava? He says could be better. Who else we got here? We got Crypto Mealysis in the house. Man, it feels like we're never going to go up. Ben Cohen said he's got his bear goggles on. Until we get back above the 50-day EMA, he's bearish. Bull runs over. We will see what happens, though. What's up, Jat B? Zcash, please, short-term targets. Nothing's changed since yesterday. Yeah, we're just dead in the water. We're in the same spot pretty much. Not good for altcoins, though. What's up, Dave? We're just sitting here staring at nothing and getting poor every day. He said we're going to bleed for 3 weeks. Jesus. All I need is Bitcoin to rally to get my money back because TOSHI follows Bitcoin. All right, what did we say? What's up, Guns? He says Arc Block. Yeah, I would imagine there's not going to be too many coins to look at today because it's just, we're doing nothing. Everything's bleeding out still. Bitcoin needs to get back over this green 618, 91K for us to have hope. Let's see. I'm going to focus on the macro. So we have 11 days left for this to get popped back up, get back over the 618, and hopefully wick back up, kind of like back here, back into our little bull flag. If this turns into a giant wick over the next week or two and we're back over 103 to 382 here, that's extremely bullish. So it's a waiting game. What did you say? Arc Block? Man, why do you hope it's over? That's not good. Everybody here on the channel has been holding their bags forever. We need it to go up. We don't need it to be over. Zcash and Arc Block. Is Zcash still bullish? Zcash to the moon. Let's see what chart we have. Yeah, it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. So the same thing we said yesterday is the same thing that's going on. You smacked right into the 618, or the 0.5 rather. So as long as you're above 317, it looks like 1800 is the price that it should spike up to if it gets over 760. And as we went over last night, there's many scenarios. We can go to the wick low, say you are above the 0.5. So you could also watch 560 as support, and then it's going to shoot up to 1400. And then if it can break up for 1400 and break to 618, then it can actually run to higher targets. And the other one, like I said, is 1800. Short-term targets. It's starting to curl up and make higher highs and higher lows, but then if we're bearish, it's forming a bear flag. So it's either or. All you can simply do is say, if Zcash here on the 4-hour time frame could stay above 650, it's bullish. It can even come all the way back down to 600 and still be bullish. Any lower than this, then the bear flag is playing out, and it's just going to fall off the table and drop 20%. And then if it breaks the trend and the 618, then the top is in. So if you get Zcash below 525, it's over. Under 600, it's no longer bullish, and it could be a sign that it's going down. So we would just take it day to day, week to week, and see what happens here. Arc block is stuck in a downtrend. Where's our arc block chart? Yeah, I mean, we went over this last night. Everything's at the bottom. If it's over, then these things are just going to die. Because we're on final supports. We're on the bottom. We're on support levels. Holding the 0.5 at 32. Once you break over about 50 cents, possible breakout to the upside, back over the 618, break the downtrend finally. And then bullish once you get back over $1. And then since we came down so far in arc block, if this ends up holding, then maybe we get an $8 to $10 ABT. But it's so bearish right now. That's a 30x from here. He says SQD, it's the future. That coin's going to zero. The lack of liquidity in the system, yeah. Yeah, we may not go up till next year. The cycle's different. We may not go up till next year. But Bitcoin and everyone is calling for a bear market, so if we don't pump back over 103, it's a bear market. Then we're not going up. And that's going to change the whole landscape of crypto, because no one's going to come back and buy these altcoins, these shit coins that never made money. You lost all your money on everything. I'm in the same boat. My money's gone. It's way over half gone again. He said SQD bottomed. What gives you that impression? What makes you say SQD bottomed? SQD bottomed, he says. Maybe let me find a better chart, if there is one. There's a Bybit chart. I'm just going to take the box off. Yeah, that's what I thought of TOSHI too. But it's still not, this bottom's still not in. Yeah, you're right on this 618 area. So dipping below it, but you get the idea. If this 618 can hold, then yeah, I would say it bottomed and it could bounce from here. But if it stays below 59.60 cents or 6 pennies, then it's bearish. But everything looks pretty much the same. We've just been dying for weeks and weeks. Now, if we get a V-shaped recovery on some of these coins in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin just starts to rocket out of here, that's very bullish. If we get a V-shaped recovery, then we're back. At this point, all we can do is hold and hope for the best. Fort ran last night. Let's look at Fort. What's up, Tagzilla? You still holding TOSHI? Yeah, I'm still holding my bag. If I sell it, I'm losing like $1,200+ right now. I refuse to let that money go into the shadow realm. Hopefully I get it back. But yeah, I'm still holding TOSHI. Fort. I forgot about Fort. Is Fort like these other ones, like SUKU? Has it been dying forever? We got many charts on Fort. Coinbase chart. Yeah, it had a relief pump, but that's probably it. We've seen a lot of these coins do that. Let me see the other chart for Fort. Not a bad monthly candle. But what we're going to have to do on Fort is pull this down to here. So macro wise, it has to get back over 7 and then 15 to be bullish. But there's really nothing bullish on the chart. It's been going to 0 forever. But it did have a pump. I'd imagine depending on where we want to draw this at, we'll try 2 different spots. So there, unless you want to go here, which probably is where it is. Yeah, you smacked right into the 236. So from the most recent high to the low, it has to get over 4.5, or it's still no bottom is in yet. And then the 382.236 to be bullish short term, if you want to call it that, and to put the macro bottom in over 7. But yeah, had a little bit of a pump. Even shorter term, if you want to do the daily chart. Came right up to the 786 and got stuck. Like I said, it's a waiting game. We're going to have to wait and see what happens here. A lot of things are on bottoms, and a lot of the stock RSIs are down, where we need to go up. I just don't see how we can go into a bear market with something like Fort here, whatever coin you're looking at, when the monthly or the weekly stock RSI is bearish at the bottom here. Then what's going to happen? We're just going to stay bearish forever. There's nowhere for these coins to go. If we don't go up, they're going to die. But crazy things happen all the time here in crypto, so we'll see. I think the fact that Bitcoin has flipped bearish and he's pretty much saying the bull run's over, like another week it's confirmed, or a couple of weeks, I think we may just shoot up out of here. Everyone is turning bearish again. What's up, Brock? Brock's back in the house. Yeah. That's why it's probably different this time. I know there's so many different factors, but the cycle may be different. We may not go up till next summer, whenever they're going to print the money and send out the checks and everything else that has to happen. Maybe by then it's extended. Maybe it's what do they call it? The super cycle or the extended cycle? What's up, Carrie? NVIDIA earnings today. Fed will pump. I don't know if that matters, my man. If I don't have to sell my bag and I actually survive in the world, which I have so much debt right now, if I can hold on to TOSHI, I may start buying into something else. I still believe at some point we got to go up. There's got to be an alt season. It may be delayed, but there's got to be an alt season at some point. Because if it is a bear market, it's not going to be the fact that we didn't have euphoria and we didn't go absolutely bonkers to the moon. The bear market shouldn't be that bad, but it's going to be bad, but it's not going to be that bad. But yeah, I'm still holding TOSHI. Can we look at AVT? It's a waiting game. I'm just waiting. I just have a feeling that at some point we're going to look up and we're going to be pumping. I still believe in Bitcoin. I believe it's going to pump. I believe the altcoins are going to pump. It may be different. Maybe whatever gets dragged up with Bitcoin on its next relief rally, that's the time to get out. And maybe those are the coins that make money this cycle and it's over. So if you bought Zcash and you've been holding and you made 20x, you're one of the lucky ones. We should have just bought Zcash. Yeah, Aventus is still bleeding out. So most altcoins are going to still bleed out against Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin in its dominance rallies. Well, we will see, but things are just dying. AVT's bearish. It's making lower lows. It's down below the 236. There's really nothing to say on it. We looked at this last night. You can see this area. It hasn't changed. It's still at this point where if it breaks this, it's going to crash down big time. So yet another coin that's on the bottom. Yeah, he was saying that the extreme fear, we've hit extreme fear, so that's another bearish signal that we're in a bear market. But ABT is probably not going to $23. You get lucky if you get a $7 ABT from here, if it's the bottom. That's about an 8x. Yeah, you guys are talking about RWA and AI coins. I've been hearing that the AI bubble is about to pop. I don't know. There's so many different things going on. What's up to how to? Yeah, so maybe Brock, maybe we have a bear market, like maybe everything's changed. There's no more 4-year cycle, which there's always been, I guess. I don't know. But maybe we were bearish for the rest of this year until the summer, and that's our bear market. And then finally sometime early summer, finally we go up, and that's our bull market, and then everything's changed at that point. It says turbo. But if we go into a bear market and we never go back up again this year, and we don't go up next year, I'm not even saying the whole year. If we don't go up in the early part of the year, maybe early summer at latest, and who's going to come back and buy these coins? It would kill everything. No one's going to invest in base coins, Coinbase, anything. So that is one of the reasons I'm a firm believer that at some point we will have an alt season. It may be huge. Hopefully it's soon. I don't know. The fact that everyone's screaming bear market is just that's like a bottom signal to me. Most people, you look at their comments on Twitter or wherever, they're just parrots. They're repeating what everyone's saying. Everyone's just chirping away. Bear market, bear market. It's over, bear market. And then that's the point where we should just go straight up. Yeah, turbo is exactly like we went over last night. If you cannot hold the 618 at this price at 0018, then there's a really good chance that you're just coming back down to the channel bottom, to the 0.5 area. And you can see that if we're going to bleed out for the next 3 weeks, 40% drop down to 3097 is in play right now, as long as you're below 2018. And then maybe that's the bottom. There's 11 days left on these monthly candles, so we're going to see if we turn into wicks and hold, especially Bitcoin trying to hold the 618 at 91. If that is the case, then we're still bullish. We're just going to have to wait and see. Everyone's looking at the weekly and the moving averages, but we're going to stick with the monthly. If the monthly candles get bought back up and they hold certain levels, then I think we're still bullish, no matter what anyone says, what any chart says. Because if turbo doesn't rally from wherever it's going to bottom at and come back to the top of the channel and just break the bottom and just go down, who is going to hold? Who's going to hold? And who's going to buy back into this coin? Because it should have went up from this point, and it never did. But from here, 40x up to 6 pennies is very possible. I still think it should come back to the top of the channel at some point, even if we're bearish and it takes until spring, summertime, and we just bounce around and we do this, we never do nothing, and then May, June, July of next year, we finally go up and we finally get that 15-cent bull run, and then it's over. So something along the lines of this, of chop, could be in play to where we just don't do anything, which not all coins will survive. Some coins will die and keep going to zero. And some coins will just go sideways and do nothing. Check Zora. What's up, Carrie? Says Zora to the moon. Yeah, we looked at Fort. Forta had a little baby bounce, but it's still bearish. Had a little pump, but it's still extremely bearish. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I keep saying yes last night. It's just there's so many bottom signals out there, and the sentiment is so bearish and extreme fear. It's like you just want to load up. Like I want to load up on TOSHI as low as it went and just buy in and just be able to laugh when it just goes straight up. It's going to be a good feeling when it happens. What'd you say, Zora? You said Zora's gonna Sora. Oh man. Zora. Oh man, Zora. Yeah, Zora's still holding up. Weekly chart, monthly chart, it's still... What is the other coin we were looking at? I think it's ZBCN Network. ZBCN is doing the same thing. It's just consolidation. So once we get back over this box, once we get over about 7 pennies, you can be bullish to the upside. And then once we break the 786 here, or another 1414 at 8 pennies, possible breakout to the upside. But when you zoom out, it's just consolidating sideways in a continuation pattern on Zora. So Zora still at this point, it's got a little mini pump going on. It's still macro bullish unless it breaks down. And I believe you tagged the final support area. Yeah, the candle body held and we're above the 786 final support at 5. So as long as you're above 5, you're alive. If you lose 5, it's over. It's going to come crashing down, possibly all the way to here. 60% crash. But as of now, it is holding. So another coin it can't really go lower. It's over for now, for a good while. Which that's what they're saying about Bitcoin too. The fact that Bitcoin came so low, it's going to take a long time for it to go up. But we don't need a long time for it to go up. If it's truly a market and a bull market upon us, then we should just go V recovery and go vertical. I think someone said last night Zora to $1. Yeah, so we drew this box here, 60 cents to $1 on Zora, if it doesn't break down. So anywhere from 10 to a 20x, to 60 to about $1.13. I know it looks tiny. How high can Zora go? What'd you say? You put $300 into the market? I can't get this chat to scroll. Why can't I get the chat to scroll? Oh yeah, I know the feeling. Being able to put $50 or $100. That's what I kept doing with TOSHI. I just added a 50 here, 100 here, 50 there. After I bought in with $2,000, but the $2,000 is half gone. We just need a good time, not a long time. Yeah, I really think Bitcoin's going to get a nice, decent bounce from where it is. But yeah, Zora can probably hit $1 if it holds up. A nice 20x for you on your $300. If that's what you got, I don't know. But yeah, if you put 300 on Zora, hopefully you get your 20x. Zora's not in your portfolio. Toshi. Yeah, I didn't have the money to buy when it went down to the 3 area. It looks so enticing, though. I really wanted to buy a big chunk of Toshi. Since I'm already in, I'm already down, I'm holding now. I'm a Toshi bag holder. We're still holding the 618. We're still holding that higher low. We had a giant monthly red candle spawn in. We've been bearish forever. Ever since I bought in on this green candle, we just instantly died. So I'm hoping this 618 is it. But yeah, when it wicked all the way down here, I was like, man, I wish I had a good chunk to put in on it, but I don't have it. So I'm just holding what I have now, and hopefully this is the bottom. I mean, just looking at the Toshi chart, there's nowhere to go but up, or it's never going up. We got carry for 10. I appreciate that a lot. That's awesome. I appreciate that. You're gonna make it. Hopefully we all make it, but I appreciate that, especially in this time we're in, where we're just dying and bleeding out, and everyone's screaming bear market shadow realm. That's awesome. 10 is awesome. That helps out a lot. That's more than we got in the last couple of streams. So that's awesome. I appreciate that. Hopefully your coins go to the moon. My wife and I crashed our car yesterday. I could use the pump too. Man, it's always something. I understand, my man. This last year has been brutal in my life, like absolutely brutal. Everything you could think of happened. Every time I had extra money, I lost it on crypto, or something broke to where I had to buy these big expensive things to continue life. But I understand. Yeah, that sucks, crashing your car. If I crashed my truck, I'd be so upset. I checked the mail the other day, and then I turned too fast. It's a big truck, so the mailbox, nothing happened to the mailbox, but the noise it made, the scraping, screaming noise, it just all down the bed of my truck. Just scratched the shit and dented my truck, and I was so upset. Mailbox is fine. But yeah, we got 26 people in here watching us go to zero. Someone said another coin. I don't remember what someone said. This is a Beck Network, says silver. EDEL. Did we look at EDEL last night? Is this a base coin? Is this what you're talking about? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me make sure oh, it's going to the moon. That's why you want to look at it. Qubit, okay. Yeah, we tried to look at that one last night, but I didn't know the ticker to it. EDEL. Okay, we'll look at that one. She says you deserve it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the 10. He says, I know how you feel. Tensor pumped hard today. TNSR, if that's Tensor. You woke up smelling a skunk all over your house. Some people find the skunk smell. They like the smell of skunks. I don't know why that is. All right, let's look at this one, and we'll look at Qubit. Qubit. All right, let's look at this coin really quick, and then we'll look at Qubit. Yeah, whatever this is. Really can't do anything with it because it's just going straight up. So if you bought in early and you're up in profit, we've seen this many times, probably take your profit and run. Because the only thing I could do is this. It held to 382 and then it just blasted up, or held that level. It wasn't the 382 at the time. So macro wise, as long as you're over 4021, it's bullish. And then short term, we'll do it here. As long as you're over 4024, you can see it held that level of support. So as long as you're over that, it's bullish. If it breaks that, then it's probably the top is in. But yeah, like I said, if you got in early, just don't be greedy. The way the market is these days, don't be greedy, anyone. So if you got a little baby 3 to 4x, just take your winnings and be happy. Not financial advice. I would kill for a 10x, a 5 to 10x right now. That'd be nice. Qubit. Yeah, what is Qubit? Yeah, is this a deck screener coin? Because you said this last night and we couldn't find it. Yeah, if it's a deck screener coin, tell me if it's base, Ethereum. Maybe it's this one right here on Uniswap. Yeah, this must be what you're talking about. You said it didn't have a great looking chart. It's because it's going to zero. Holy crap. This thing's a pull and a half. A rug pull and a half. It bear flagged and it's just dying. Hopefully that's not what's in store for Bitcoin right now. Second from top. Is that the one I picked? Yeah, if this is the one I picked, okay, yeah. Can't do anything with this, my man. It's a gamble and a half. We'll go to the 3-day chart. There's almost not a wick there anymore. It keeps going in and out. So high, yeah, the wick just disappeared. So there's no telling if there's a bottom here. The only thing I can do is, if we do it this, and that is the bottom, 202, and then 203 to be bullish. The other thing we can do is see where it's going to catch support. And we'll go from the first candle in to the high. And you broke the bottom, and then it was over. You're breaking through, you're just slicing through every level. So as long as you're below 2 zeros, what is that? 2 zeros, 1 6. Your support level is 2 zeros, 1 1 right now. If you break the 1618, it's going to die again. So if it does not bounce, it's in the middle of nowhere at the moment. That's why it's still going down. If it does not hold this 2 zeros, 1 1, another 10% drop, then it's a fall off the table coin. It's going to drop hard 50%, 52% down to 306. So you must get a bounce off of here. Other than that, it's going to the shadow realm. Yeah, that's how a lot of people feel. They just want their money back. Yeah, that's how it happens. You guys not taking profit, because when it's pumping and you're making money, just that thing flips in your brain and you just want more. You just get greedy. You can't believe it. You just want it to go higher and higher. And then it just goes straight down. I would just like the feeling of buying a coin and having it actually just pump. Even if I didn't get out, I've never bought a coin that pumped. I bought XCN this last time, went straight down. I bought TOSHI, it instantly went straight down. I bought Beam, it went straight down. But yeah, I remember when XCN pumped, everyone was bullish and everyone was saying don't sell. Same thing with ZBCN network. And then you just get greedy. It's just the way it goes. It's the way the cycle works. And now it's too late. We waited all these times to make money, and then now there's a potential it may all be over. Well, there's not going to be a next time, my man, because if TOSHI never pumps, if TOSHI pumps, I'll buy another coin. But if it never pumps, then there's no next time. What's up, Bear? What happened to Edge? I mean, we'll look at Edge. You don't know if Toshi's to play right now. But so many of these coins that were holding up, Toshi, the reason I bought it is because it was holding up very well. The last time Bitcoin crashed, it didn't really budge. It was looking very strong. And then now it's just dying. It's because I bought in. But I told you guys at the time, whatever you guys know, whatever coin I buy, just short the hell out of it. It's going straight down. So if you guys would have shorted Toshi when I bought it, you'd have been making some money right now. There's nothing happening with Edge, my man, or Bear. It's doing what every coin is doing right now. It's right on the 0.5 support from the low to the high. And it is also holding, so this is what we've been doing. We'll just draw a macro support box. So that's your line in the sand. All right, so but yeah, it's doing what everything is doing right now. I mean, the macro support box, you can see clearly all the resistance at this level here. This is what we've been watching a lot of coins. This one's at the top. So if it loses, which it looks like it's doing right now at about 16 pennies, then this thing can easily come down to this 618 area, this macro area. So you could easily still drop 22% down to about 12 pennies. No, Louis, you gonna? All right. Got to give me a moment. I got to go take the animals outside. I will be right back. But yeah, this coin here, your support right now is 16, and if it does not hold, it's going to drop to 12. Not bullish until it gets back over about 25 cents. So another coin that's coming down to the final macro bottom area, because if it breaks this box, this 618, it's potentially just going to die. But everything's got a giant red candle spawning in right now, so it's no different. 2021 was a fake bull run. Take profit on Fed at 40. Is it still hot in Texas? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why I'm just going to keep loading up on it when I can. All right, let me pull up Fed. I think there was another coin we were supposed to look at. I think I got it. Hold on. I think I got a super chat. Let me look really quick, and then I got to take these animals out. Well, we looked at Fed last night. Yeah, we'll get into Fed in just a moment, but let me see. Yeah, we got 2 star chats. We got Bear for 5. I appreciate that. Love the streams, my man. I appreciate that a lot, especially in times like this. That's awesome. I got Carrie and Bear for the win. We've made more with the 2 super chats than the last month of streams almost, it seems like. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot. That's awesome. We're still holding out hope. You guys are gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I'm not buying into the Bears. If the Bears win and we don't make money, then it's over. We're not coming back. And let the Bears have the dead market. We'll do something else. We'll invest in something else, and we'll just kind of switch things up. But if we make it, then we can actually say we did something good for the last couple of years. But yeah, we'll look at FET in just a moment. Everyone hit the like button, answer the poll. I will be right back in about 5 to 6 minutes, and chat amongst yourselves. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Damn, we lost a bunch of people. Down to 11 people now. We were at 30. Attention spans are short. A really short bearish phase. Yeah. I think it could be over. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. That's my fear too, that we had a very early bull run. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm still holding out hopes, like I said last night, to actually make some money this time. Because if I don't make money, then I'm going to have to readjust a lot of things in my life. And it's going to not be good. It's going to be brutal for a good while if I don't actually make some sort of money. I'm going to have to do things I never thought I'd have to do, like declare bankruptcy and move again. But yeah, you guys are bullish on FET right now. So in a bull market, if we actually survive, you could have a $40 FET. That's 138x from here, at least to the top of the channel, which this is not really a channel that I have drawn, but I guess it is, but it's not the official tool. But 770 to $8, maybe $10 is your target. So at least a 25x from here back to the top. But as for this thing being bullish, we're going to have to wait and see, because you are starting to form after a strong move down. We're seeing this everywhere again. We could be forming a bear flag, and then we're about to just die. So just you guys are prepared for both scenarios. I know we don't want the downwards move because we're all holding our bags. But if it is, we'll be here. We're here almost not every day, but we're here a couple times a week at least, because I have to work. But if we start seeing these coins break, actually break down on these larger weekly and monthly candles, then we'll know we're going down, and you just cut your losses at that point, because it's gonna free fall. So we'll see what happens with FET. But if FET can get back over the 55-cent level, if it gets over 55 cents, this thing could shoot straight up to the 1272 at 175 and do a 5.5x. So what we'll do here is on FET, we're on the monthly candles, by the way. I'll switch it down just a moment. But yeah, from the high to the low, you smacked right into the 382 at about 45.5. If we get over 45.5, it's bullish, and then the breakout would be over 99. Up to $1.70. But it did hit resistance, and it did already pull back, so just be careful. What is the chat saying? Yeah. Crypto Pat says possible all season was front ran, kind of like Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, because my macro chart that we've been watching, Louis, you can't go out that door. But we'll look at the Bitcoin chart in just a moment, because I never thought we would have a giant red candle on the month that we were supposed to be going to the moon for the top. Yeah, and the fact that they've been liquidating the shorts and the longs in both directions, that's another signal to me that they're getting all the money out. They're getting ready to just pump this thing to the moon. They're liquidating all these people. Yeah, I agree, Brock. So many people are getting out, but these low prices that we're buying in, which I wish I would have bought Toshi lower, but I got my Toshi bag. But if we go up in early 2026 and if it's delayed, then we're gonna have these massive bags to dump on everyone that piles in when we're finally bullish. Gotta grab dinner. Hopefully we get a bounce in December. New moon coming up. That's what we need. That's what we need. We're back up to 22 people. Yeah, you make sure you guys answer the poll and hit the like button. It will help out. At some point, we'll hit 20,000 subs on the channel, hopefully. If we don't go up, then I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, talking about Bitcoin, what did I build this chart like 2 years ago? We're at which this may be moved. This may have to be moved now. But it is concerning. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys have seen this chart before, but it's all marked out from all these time frames are pretty much even. Like from the high to the bottom is always 12 bars, 12 bars. So 12 bars, the bottom should be, but I think it's different now because every halving from the last couple of cycles, which we may have to extend it, but from 2016 to the high from the halving, which, like we said, we did have the high before the halving, 17 bars, and then it was 18 bars. So this one we kind of just went from 17, 18, 19, which puts us in this November, which we've talked about over the last 2 years. So I never thought we'd have a red candle right here. Well, I guess last time we had a red candle and it was over in 2021. Damn. I'm just hoping we turn things around. So we may have to move this over to December, maybe January, and then we'll see. It's just a week-to-week thing. We'll see what happens. But I never thought we'd be this bearish and we didn't go up that fast. And then we also have this indicator that I pointed out a long time ago, which it does have bearish divergence because, of course, Bitcoin has been making higher highs this whole time. And if you look at this rainbow RSI, it's been making lower highs. And there's this one here now. We're at our green line, which should have been the blow off top area. But last time we didn't have a blow off top. We just double topped. But you can see every time it hits this white line or goes above it, the top is in. So the real top could have been in 2021, April. And then we had that second top. But now we didn't even hit that level yet. And we're already starting to curl down. So you see the green line here to where we're in the green still. But we never had that move up. And it's already starting to curl down. So when it starts to curl down, it's another indication of a bear market. It's over. So we'll see what happens here. But oh, man. So the next halving is not until April of 2028. Well, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this cycle. Maybe we move the goalpost and we adjust everything and see what happens. Yeah, we should have never, because crypto was supposed to be a thing outside of everything, regulation and everything. And now that we have institutions coming in and everyone, all these mass adoptions and everything that's happening, it's probably, the cycle's probably different. So I would imagine we're probably going to move the goalpost, and we still got a couple of months of chop and nothing else to sit through. So I'm just going to keep, if the universe will let me, the crypto gods will let me, I'm just going to keep adding to some positions if I'm able to, and see what happens. It's the only thing I got at this point. Yeah, and that's another fact, Nick. There are millions of altcoins now. Makes you think, yeah. Yeah, and it's like with the Zora thing. Zora's like Instagram. Every picture you put up becomes pretty much a coin. You have your creator coin from your profile, and then every picture you put up becomes tokenized. So it's just adding more and more dilution to the problem we're having. Last Roaring didn't feel like he was really doing anything in the late middle of December. After a Call of Duty match, I checked the market and it was skyrocketing. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Just out of nowhere, we're going to skyrocket. Your Polygon went from 65 cents to 283 in late December. Yeah, because we saw AOS, PNG, ArcBlock, XCN, ZBCN. We got a lot of pumps out of some coins. Recently, Zcash. Didn't Turbo do like 100x or something like that at some point? And I was looking on Twitter today. Everyone's calling for, the bear market, but there's so much bullish macro news coming out on everything. So just sit tight, hold your bag, not financial advice. I mean, if you're in, you're in. I know a lot of people are down. I'm down. We can just hope for the best. At some point, like I keep saying, it's going to go up. I really don't think the crypto market is dead, but not every coin's going to pump because, like you said, there's too many coins. So not every coin's going to pump. There's just no way it's going to happen. We'll have a handful of coins, which we've already had a handful of coins pump over the last year. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. I tell you guys what, if I sell TOSHI right now for a loss, it's gonna start pumping. It happens every time. So if I sell TOSHI and I lose over $1,200 on my 2,000 investment, and the market pumps from there, you guys gotta reimburse me because I made the markets pump because I sold. It happens every time. I didn't get a chance to sell XCN. It just died. Now TOSHI's dying. Your portfolio will pump after you raid uninstall Coinbase. Yeah. We got 22 people in here. What have we not looked at in a while? Yeah, you guys hear that they canceled the what was it? Was it the jobs report or the labor market? They were supposed to talk about that tomorrow, and they canceled it. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because if they did not cancel it, it was probably going to be bearish either way. and we would continue to go down. So the fact that they're not coming out with the jobs report, maybe that is bullish. Maybe we just go straight up from here. Wait, someone said, what would you say was pumping? I have to go back in the chat. Someone said something was pumping. Oh my God, Myro's getting hit hard. Oh my God. Damn. So that must mean VAR is falling off the table. VAR is going to 0. Yeah, I just made another lower low. VAR just goes down forever. Yeah, let me look at the chat. What was the coin someone said was pumping? Each cycle is slightly more and more extended. Yeah, that feels like what's going on now. We gotta wait till QT ends in December, and then we'll see what happens. I'm just taking it week to week, to be honest. My phone's going off every day with bill collectors calling and like all the time. Emails, phone calls, text messages. And I'm just taking it week to week saying, someone save me. Please let the market go up. I'm trying to see, someone said something was pumping. I don't know what it was. You said we're poor before our crypto investment, now we're still poor after. Yeah, and we could have done something better with that money. I could have paid off some bills with the money I've lost this last year. But I decided to throw it into the shadow realm. What's up, Boss Trading? Boss Trading or Bose Trading? ARPA used to become the issuer for DID worldwide. I don't know what that is. And we're set for parabolic moves. Bull or bear won't matter then. Believe. Yeah, we all just got to believe that our coin's going to go up. Which it could happen. I mean, we've been bearish for over a month, and Zcash went. So the Zcash holders are the winners right now. They got their bull run. If you got a 20x with everything that's going on, then you got your bull run. Yeah, this one's pumping, but it's stuck at the 236, so it's still bearish. Bottom's not in. So Tensor is bearish below, bottom not in over 9, below 9, and then until you get over 17.5, you're not bullish. But it did just hit resistance, and it is still in a down trend. So there's your bearish hopium. It's still bearish. Same thing back here. It was bullish, broke the trend, back tested it, and it was over. So you just need to break over 9, potentially back test, and then you can go up. No bull run until you get over 51, if that ever is going to happen on Tensor. And then if you're lucky, if it does break, you have the 618786. So a 6x up to $1 would be a 13.5x. But it's still bearish. The bears are still in control. Decentralized ID. All right. Yeah, like I said, it's pumping, but it's stuck. We've seen that a lot lately. Yeah, I agree. It's probably going to be, it's the fact that they're giving out $2,000 stimulus or rebate checks, whatever you want to call it. But that's not till next year, mid next year. So the bull run may not be till mid next year. So come back in the summertime when it's hot and miserable. Then you can have some money back after you've been dying for 6 months. God, I can't imagine sitting through this for another 6 months. Another 6 months of losing money. Brutal, brutal market. I guess it was inevitable. I guess we should have had regulation from the beginning, and then we wouldn't have so many coins, I guess. Something. Kites. We have a Binance chart. Probably the best chart. Yeah, what is this? We found a winner. She's pumping. Yeah, this doesn't look bad. If this thing can break the high, it's going to start flying potentially. So Kite is on Coinbase. I don't know. I think the big money knows something's brewing. Something's about to happen. Because you had Trump come out and say some bullish things today. Eric Trump came out and said some bullish things. Some other people came out and said some bullish macro things. Someone said buy the dip. I don't remember who that was. Yeah, if you break the 0.5 here at 9, this thing may start going. It's holding higher lows. Got a bullish looking chart. It's getting accumulated. Oh, I can't draw with one hand, but you get the idea. Higher lows, and it's pumping. So as long as it's over 8.5, it's bullish. If it breaks over 9, you could have this thing start flying. 618 over 10, then you know this thing's going to start moving. It can actually start its move up. But from here, if you break that 0.5 and make a higher high, then this thing could easily spike up to 16 and do almost a 2x from here. Not a bad looking chart. This is a 4-hour candle, so it's going to happen very quickly. Not financial advice, but it does look good. But I said the same thing about TOSHI. It looks good. I'm going to buy in, and then it just went to 0. But I'm not buying this coin, so it's not going to rug. And the momentum has shifted up. That's on the short time frames. Just we have seen on the larger time frames coins like this that look like this. They'll get a little baby pump, and then they get stuck, and then it just goes to 0. Yeah, the rate cuts don't do nothing. Every time they have an FOMC meeting, which the next one is in December, they had the minutes come out today, but that's nothing. I thought it was the FOMC meeting because there was fake people on Twitter saying it was. But yeah, didn't Trump come out today and say that he said something to Powell or something about Powell? If he doesn't cut rates, he's going to fire his ass. I don't think it's as simple as that, but something's brewing. Something is a brewing. Who's Jamie Dimon? Jamie Dimon said something pretty crazy about Bitcoin being really high by the end of the year. Yeah, that's something along the lines of what Eric Trump said, 200K or 250K BTC by the end of Q4. of this year, which we're running out of time. They just need to shut up and let it go already. They need to shut their mouths, know your role, and let it go. Let the people make money. Who said that? I think it was a wrestler. I know Stone Cold said, because Stone Cold said so. Because Stone Cold said so. Yeah, you guys know who Stone Cold is, right? The Rock, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was The Rock. I haven't watched wrestling in about a year now. After I didn't watch it for like ever. Steve Austin, yeah. Milo says Macho Man Randy Savage. The House of Cards is flopping in the wind. What's up, Art? I got an uncle named Art. Uncle Art. But yeah, who's keeping Zcash up? There ain't no telling. It just did a 20 plus X depending on where you bought in, so it may be done. Yeah, but Stone Cold Steve Austin, he is from my neck of the woods. My old house where I used to live, he was born in the city 5 miles down the road. And he has a ranch in Victoria. About 25 minutes down the road from where I used to live, where I grew up. Here in Texas. What am I looking for? Oh, Zcash. ZEC. Zcash for the win. They piled in and made money. Time to send it to zero. Yeah, it's still stuck at the 0.5. But it's still holding up and it's still bullish, so we'll see what happens here. I mean, doesn't this tell you that the bull market has started? Zcash is pumping. If Zcash actually pumps over this 0.5 and starts blasting out here and gets over 1800, then that could tell us it's a front runner. Nick says jabroni ass Bora. Yeah, exactly. He says you're in Texas. Yeah, that's public knowledge. You guys know I'm in Texas. Texas, born and raised. It's always hot and miserable. Why won't Japan let Jasmine run? Because Japan doesn't have anything to do with letting a coin run. Look, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. We can see that now because nothing. It's just we're bearish. Our crypto taxes in Texas, not as bad as some places, but it's not horrible. But I've never made any money, so if I make money, then I'll worry about taxes. I've been following Jasmine for years, since forever. Jasmine and Cardano and Ada, or what was it, Shiba? Nothing matters. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we got 17 people here, over an hour. Nothing's happening. So I guess we're going to end it here. I do appreciate the couple of super chats that did come in. I appreciate you guys being here. It's almost 5 o'clock. I mean, if we ever turn around, if we just start pumping to the moon, I will absolutely, whatever time of day it is, if it's not the weekend where I'm working, I will get on here and do an emergency live stream. So if anything happens. So if anything does happen and I'm not constantly looking at the markets or anything, all you guys got to do is comment on the live stream video or any other video, and I will see the notification. So if something starts going to the moon or Bitcoin starts pumping over 103K, someone just go comment on the live stream here, and I will get a notification and I will look at it, and then we'll just see what happens from there. But nothing's happening. We just got to hold, stay strong, and hope for the best. Even if we got to do this for another 6 months, we're here together, holding on strong. But I do appreciate you guys coming in. As always, none of this is financial advice. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck. And peace out, everyone.